Okay, we're about ready to start our floss tube. Willow jumped up here a minute ago, but I don't know what she's up to. There's our Max. There's our good boy. There's our good boy. He's trying to eat, he's eating the cords on my Acorns and Threads hoodie. Hey, let's stick those out of the way. Yes, I want my cords I don't want them all chewed up. Yes, I don't want them all chewed up. Now, what? Now you're just going to try to eat the zipper? Now that's just weird. Okay. All right. He's on the back side of the camera, but the camera is that way and he's that way. So, all right. Let me scoot the camera up here and get out of the... What did I hit? Oh, hit my, all right. You know, people, this is not a professional endeavor, or I'd have this all ready to go. I think I'll just put what I usually do. So I usually kind of have it on my computer. There's Max. He's back. He's back. Oh, he just loved the camera. Yes, I gotta hang on to the camera now. Yeah, I love you too, buddy. So, I don't want you to see his butt, but yeah, he's getting ready to hop over to the food dish. So, all right. All right, so let's get started. If I can, I don't like to have the bright, otherwise I have to like be the angel with my halo right there. I don't like that either. So, okay, rainy, gray, lovely Oregon June weather. Love it. Okay, so let me see. Today is Monday. It's, gosh, what day is it? June 8th? Oh, boy. Very crazy. I've actually got a lot of, not very much stitching in, but a lot of whips touched in the last 10 days or so since I last filmed. And I got a couple things that I purchased from a friend of mine that I don't think, oh, good, I have my ledger right here. I was thinking, oh no, it's across the room with my stitching stuff, but no. So I had my stitching friends over on the 28th of May, and I think it was like the 28th or so that I last posted, even though I filmed that much earlier in the week. I didn't even put that, oh, I said I filmed it on Monday the 25th, so this is 2 weeks from the last filming. And so when I hosted my stitch group here at the house on May 28th, and my friend Lisa, who is a master fabric collector, and Fox and Rabbit did this sticker that they gave out at Nashville that I got, and I think I might have shown it to you, and I said, "Damn, I'm going to give this to my friend Lisa Holt," because she's been in a bunch of fabric clubs. She's got a ton of fabric, and so occasionally she'll bring some to give for free, but lately she's been like, I just have a lot, and I need to pay some bills, or I need to take a trip or whatever she was gonna. She had a reason, and she also had cataract surgery, so she had a lot of financial things she wanted to, ease her nervousness about, I think, and so she's been selling fabric. So I bought 3 pieces from her, and so this is, picture this plus Whimsy, which is a purple with some modeling. Lovely piece. And she actually brought a bunch of purples because our friend Tammy loves purple. That's Tammy is Woodland Stitching Studio on YouTube. And so Tammy wanted to look through her bags of purple fabric, which she did. And then I got the rejects to look at, and then we passed it around the table to other people who were less purple centric. And I'm like I say, I'm wearing my Acorns and Threads hoodie that's purple because it's cold. And so anyway, this is, like I say, this is Picture This Plus, 32 count linen. As much as I like 36 count, I'm kind of wondering, like, maybe I should just be easier on my eyes and do 32 count. And so I don't have any plans for any particular pattern for this. But there was another piece that I thought about getting, and I think I showed, I don't have, of course I don't have it in front of me, Away We Ride by Blackbird Designs, but this is the floss pack that Pirate Robin put out. And so I was thinking, when I don't normally go for neutrals, but this is vintage sand dune, which is lakeside linen, which is 36 count. And you know, if you don't mind the reflections from the bag, I thought that this fabric and that floss just popped. So anyway, like I say, the Away We Ride Blackbird pattern is way back in the front room, not in the white dresser. It is in a box waiting to be paired up and started. So, but not anytime soon. But I wanted to show you those. And then the third piece that I got from her, I'm going to show at the end of this video. So let's get into the whips. Should help if I actually look where the camera is, but oh, sorry, Willow. Scared Willow. Things are, I went to grab something and everything went sliding off, and I didn't want it to hit the floor, but I will need to bend down and get one thing. Just a sec. Okay, so I guess I do have the other piece of fabric, and here comes Willow. Yep, Willow. She's like, oh boy, cross stitch to sniff. She already came up here when I put the tripod up, and she's like, okay, let's start filming. But all right, so this is, I showed this before, Ghost Boy Needleworks, and Yet I Rise. This was stitched on Gunmetal by Weeks, and it's, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 different types of thread, and Willow's right here. She's sniffing the tripod, and so I got a piece of, this is XJU Designs, and this is Witch's Brew. There's Willow. Willow, you match the fabric a little bit. And so what I was looking at is, I didn't want to stitch that on gunmetal because I didn't want to buy the Weeks fabric, but I thought, hey, you know, if I can stitch it on this piece that is a little less purple, either maybe on this side, I'll have to see which side I like better. That's got, yeah, I think it was like this area here I was thinking, and she's chewing on the serging of the linen now. Hey, she's trying to cart it off actually. Hey. Okay, how? Hey, I do not want to pull your teeth out, and I don't want you scratching me accidentally because you would feel really guilty. Yes, I'm sorry. So anyway, I figured I'd do it on the side which is less purple and more of a gray-brown modeling, which could look like some concrete. And so that's what I'm going to do. And Yet I Rise. And I'll talk about this again a little later at the end. We had stitching at my friend Elise's this last week, and she's got a brand new serger and she wants to serge stuff so she feels like she got her money's worth. So I brought over about at least 7 different pieces, mostly whips, but a few that were just the fabric itself. And so we cut a few pieces down to size, and then we serged around the borders of everything I brought, which was great because some of my Lugana was really fraying, and we kind of, nipped that in the bud. So anyway, so Willow's still here, kind of pouting, I think. All right, so like I say, I've been touching a lot of whips. Oh, and I can't remember, I think I might have shown Snowflakes and Stars. I got that from a friend of mine in my stitch group because she bought it and she was done with it, and I told her, I always liked that piece, but I hadn't bought it yet. She's like, well, I'll give it to you when I'm done, and she did. I think I might have said that last time. So sorry, I feel like I'm getting too close to the camera. Okay, maybe I'll push the camera out a little bit because, yeah, Willow. She's got her little, she's like, wait a minute, you're getting cross stitch out. Are you gonna, gotta move this stuff out of the way again. Okay, when I pull this out, she's probably gonna come look at this again. So I'm working on, there were 2 pieces I did this weekend because I only needed to stitch them once for the month, because I am doing the Stitching by the Shore prompts, and I am trying to catch up on the prompts. Here's Willow again. If I can, she wants to get in, she's sniffing stuff, so there's her back. So, all right, that's my good girl. So anyway, Little Violet from Susan Standley, and so this is a Berlinwork piece, which is with the bright colors, and it is stitched on, I'll put it in the description. It's somebody's Teazel is the name of the linen. It's a legacy linen, and it was procured for the class that we did this in. Or actually, I haven't finished it, but so what I did this weekend, if I can, it's hard to see because the stitches I made, you can see it right above my finger, and then some right there. They're the same color as the linen, just about. And I'm thinking, oh great, because I'm getting up into these lighter folds in the dress, and that's the same color as the linen, and it's like, oh great, my eyes are really not gonna like this. So I only spent like about 20 minutes or 30 minutes stitching those little stitches. I had somewhere else I was going yesterday, so I knew it was going to be a short project. I just wanted to make some progress. So I got one little fold toward the bottom, the hem of the skirt, and then there were some that were above the brown parts that I'd already stitched. So, and that took care of one prompt for June for the I Spy challenges. I'll put the I Spy challenges in the description of this video, just so people can see what they are. And so the other thing that I worked on between now and between the last time you saw me. And this one, I basically went through, don't have that little piece of paper, of course. I have gone through all of the whips that I have in the prompts that I haven't done, and then I counted up how many days I needed to stitch on them to meet various prompts. And so Kitten Reflections needs 2 stitch days this month, which is great because I love it. And let's like get out the right parts here. So this is a Dimensions Gold Petite from 2007, and this is Kitten Reflections. And I'm just working at the very bottom, kind of filling in and moving my way up. And this is one of my older whips. I'm sure I started it in 2006 or 2007. It's copyrighted 2007, but I swear I bought it before then. So anyway, what I did was I filled in, there's some light green above this orange and green. So I filled in some of the light green. And I think I also filled in some brown over here, but I don't think, I don't remember what date I did that. But this is a super fun piece, and it's like 92 by 120 something, like 122 maybe. So it's a medium-sized piece in terms of how I think of medium. It's not a small, but it's not that big either. So it would be great to finish it like in the next year or so. And so it's it's not so much confetti, it's just a lot of color changes. And then I believe, great, I've like picked things up and put things down and buried, sorry, like pushed my ledger off to the side. So, oh shoot. I think there's one other thing that I did, and I'm probably not going to show it because it's just like not much progress on it. I was expecting more progress, but then when I was stitching it late at night, I was like, oh, my eyes are too tired to deal with this. So let's see. Yeah, Kitten Reflections I did last week. All right. So let's see, what else did I work on? I worked on, this is another one of those that I just needed to do one prompt and then I was done with it for the month. So it and, so the little violets going back in the same room as a white dresser, and then Crystal Ball, which, no, it's all, oh dear. It got serged, and now the serge thread is in my zipper. That's not good. I don't want to. Oh great! I took off pulling on this. My zipper fob came off. So okay, good. Whew. All right. Right, yeah, so nicely serged, because Lugana can really fray. And this is one that I was stitching, and Willow hopped up on my chest, and the needle kind of popped out of the fabric and then kind of popped off the floss and was down on the floor, and I had to, you know, get her out of the way and get up and then try and find the needle. And fortunately the needle had kind of flown. So anyway, so I was going to start the next blossom right down here, and so there's some orange stitches right there where that's going to be a bloom coming out. But as I was doing this, I realized that the shape of the crystal ball, it's getting to the point where it's going to start turning back to make the circle, and I'm getting down to where the base of the crystal ball is supported on a platform, and I realized that my counting is off on this side. So I thought, well, maybe what I should really do besides the blossom is I really should work on stitching correctly the circle that goes down on the other side of the fabric, and then match up the two sides, because I knew I was going to be off a little bit, but I didn't think I was going to be off as much as I appear to be. And I don't like to frog, so I'm gonna do what I can to fix it so it looks okay. So that's the plan for this one. But this one I only needed to stitch on it. Unfortunately, I only got 6 half stitches in and discovered my problem, and then had the issue with willow and the needle. So, and it was like after midnight on Saturday night, so I was like, okay, I need to go to bed. Really, really need to go to bed. So, all right, so put that back. Take this little fob that goes on it, and I want to put the fob back on. Not poking myself. There. All right. So I'm running out of things. I've got a big bin here with the things I've been working on. Let me take the last 2 things out of the bin, and then I can start putting the things in the bin that we're done with. Put that back in. Okay, good. All right, so I did work on Henny Penny a little bit. I need to work on that some more, because it's a Christmas present, and I'm gonna fully finish it myself, and it's still like down at the bottom of the chicken. And I started doing the blue apron that she's wearing, so I've got those stitches to start, and that's the end of the lowest hem on her apron. So I love this. This is so much fun to stitch. This is super easy, big color blocks, or fairly good sized color blocks. So not even sure it's on any of my prompts this month, but I've got a stitch on it. So, all right, and then I did have, I believe, let me check my, check the ledger for the right month, and, oh yeah, so on the 31st is when I did Henny Penny, and the 28th of May. And then I also on the 31st did a couple stitches to complete the border for the narwhal, the Christmas narwhal, which is on 32 count opalescent Lugana. And and it goes this way because that's the belly of the narwhal. So got some of I basically completed a thread on it, so all those stitches are crossed. So I do not believe that this is, I'm not sure I don't think this is called for this month, maybe one time. So I've got like maybe 2 times that I need to stitch on it to take care of prompts where this was called before. So then, and I better put the kitten thing, it's balanced on the trash can. And okay, and I believe of the whips I was going to show. Oops, that's June of 25. That's not June of 26. Okay, so we had, gosh, I thought I worked on it. Oh, I did, on the 26th. So this was after I did my filming. So, and I meant to stitch some more on this Acorn Manor this weekend, because it's a pretty simple stitch, but I just didn't get to it. And trying to pull out the picture here, which, shoot, I should have pulled out the picture for the Christmas narwhal and Henny Penny. So I'm falling down on the job here. So really falling down on the job. So Henny Penny is going to be a big 11 by 16, yeah, 11 and a half by 16 inch, like, stuffed animal. I finish it. And I was thinking last night that I was going to actually probably ask my mom to help me sew it, because then she'd really enjoy a visit by me, and this is something we could do together. And so then the Christmas narwhal, that's what I call it. It's really narwhal biscornu. That's from Tiny Modernist. Henny Penny is, of course, by Stacy Nash. It's an animal cracker. And sorry for all the crinkling, crackling. I had to get one piece of paper back in a crinkling bag. Okay, and then this is Acorn Manor, which was an exclusive for Acorns and Threads for Acorn Gathering this year. This is by Maximum Cross Stitch, Ellen Reed. And oh, and I just ran across a YouTube, there's like a music reactor who's an opera singer who really has decided she really likes metal and things and rock, and so it's fun to watch because I like the music, and I'm also a vocalist, so I like to hear what she has to say about the musical technique and intent. And so but anyway, so this is Acorn Manor, and I am working on the steps, or the green hill that the house sits on. So not very exciting, but good color block to work on. And I'm stitching it on Cedar River Pyrite 18, yeah, it's, excuse me, 18 count. So all I did was put in some more. Sorry, I've got hiccups, and I do have my water. This is just like a train wreck of a floss tube. So yeah, so just another green, like line of green stitches. So and I've got, I think my friend that gave me the Lindy Stitches pattern is the one. Maybe she finished this? I don't remember now. I know that at least one of my local stitchy friends has finished this one. So it's like a 90 something by 120 something too. So it's, you know, what I would call medium sized. All right, so that is all of the whips that I was going to show today. Trying to see, there was one other thing. Oh, there is another whip I was going to show you. I did work on another whip that I'm not going to show just because I was stitching it and I was tired, and I was just like, okay, I'm not making much progress, and I'm not going to show it this time. I will show it later in the month because I have it called for several more times, and so I'll be doing a lot more progress on it. And I think I might have talked about this in my last Flosstube, but So, you know, it's mid-year and I've got all these things that I want to finish, and I keep dumping, going like this. I don't want to do that. I better sit up straight so you can see my face. And so, yeah, so I basically took all of my whips and I made a list of all the smalls and which things are like presents and due, you know, quickly, and also some of the ones that were small, like 40 by 40 or 60 by 60 or 50 by 70, you know, things like that, so I could know kind of which ones to work on and get done, and which times I have less time versus more time. And this month I have to work on the 30 Acorns class piece. And so I started that last week, and I also put the medium things like the Acorn Gathering and Acorn Manor and the Kitten Reflection. Also put that on the same page as all the smalls because, you know, I would like to get some larger pieces done. And I'm thinking that next year as sort of the thing that I'm doing, I'm going to try to figure out what to take out of this bag without revealing much. Okay. And also, so I don't make a big mess, because there's all these flosses that are kind of half unspooled. Oh, and that's where that's like, ooh. Okay. I think this one, the needle came off and I put it back in my needle minder, because it's not, I think that's what happened, because I was stitching and I have some knotting issues on this, and so I took the needle off of the floss so I could work on these silly knots in the back. And this is on perforated paper, and this is the center of one of the pieces, because for this there are two perforated pieces that you make a needle book, which is like what Kathy Haberman Hands-On Design did for Jingle Ball this last year. So 30 Acorns is a perforated paper needle book, and then we're going to make the box in the class. And so there's a bottom part of the box, and then there's like a hidden pocket where you put this other piece in. And so we were given a piece of this fabric, and I forget what fabric this is, but I was kind of, and this fabric actually, they've put lines so you know how big the piece and where to cut for the finishing. And so I wasn't really thrilled with this neutral, so I decided, the needle book is on perforated paper, and that's what I got, and I'm using my my magnetic frame that I got from, I think it's UA Stitch, or yeah, I will link them in the description too, because they're a Ukrainian company on Etsy, and I believe they also are marketing their frames now through Keepsakes. So I'll check that out, and I'll link that too in the description. At one point when I bought mine, the company actually asked me if I wanted to promote them, but I only had 20 subscribers, maybe not even that many at the time, and I couldn't say yes because I felt like I wouldn't be a good promoter because I didn't have that many people watching. Not that I have that many people watching now, but I got a little bit more. So I had in my stash this piece of Cedar River linen, which is 32 count, and all of the perforated paper is 16 count, and the linen is 32 count, so everything is designed for that little box to be on 32 count. However, the one part that goes in a secret pocket in the box, I decided to go for a splash of color, and this is 18 count AIDA. So I'm gonna do part of it on this. It's just gonna have this wild splash of color, so that if it's in the secret compartment and you take it out, it's gonna be, whoa, you know? So that's my design choices for this. And the Cedar River is much lighter linen. So, and the colors are browns and oranges, it kind of like, you know, harvest colors, fall colors. And I know that one of my friends said, well, you know, she was like, you know, I'm not feeling fall because it's June. And so I've never been a seasonal stitcher, so I'm kind of like, well, I'm gonna stitch whatever it is, because, you know, we get to meet Kathy in July, and I got to get this thing done. So, so anyway, that's what I'm working on. I think she's talked about this particular class on her Flosstube, and also she has videos on how to finish those circular things, like the Liberty pennies that I just finished, that I'm planning to fully finish myself. And so I'm going to be watching her videos in the future, because I want to be able to do some of those finishes for myself, and with help from my friends. And I'm trying to get there's like a piece of blue fuzz that is, now I can't get this thing back in the bag. Yeah, okay, there we go. All right, now everybody's in the bag. So I started this on Thursday, and it's now Monday, so I actually need to spend time working on the perforated paper, because there's a certain pattern of what you need to finish to be able to do things in the class, and then the other things you can wait till later, because then it's just a piece you can add to it later, and it won't affect the finishing. So anyway, I'll take another drink of water. Realizing I worked really hard today, and I didn't drink enough water as I was at my desk. So a lot of stitching to do. And so the Kathy Hagerman class is on July 24th and 25th. Well, actually, it's 23rd, 22nd, 23rd is one class, and then 24th, 25th is the second session, which I'm in. And then we are having a class at Acorns and Threads, which is June 27th. Let's look at the calendar. That would be the obvious thing to do. June 27th and 28th, that's Beth Twist, which is Heartstring Stamplery, and Lucy Beam. Which I haven't met the designer behind Lucy Beam. And so they're coming to teach us something and do a craft with us at Acorns and Threads called Ocean in View, which is a celebration of Lewis and Clark reaching the Pacific. And so that'll be interesting. I did not know this originally growing up, but my mom's family, who's been in the country, been in the North America since 1631, so they're related to a ton of people, because, you know, if you're in the country for 400 years, your genes get around, okay? So anyway, so apparently I'm related, you know, sort of distantly to William Clark of Lewis and Clark. So kind of wish I was related to Lewis instead of Clark, because Clark was a jerk and Lewis kind of got screwed over. So, and Clark was a slave owner and brought the first enslaved black person to Oregon. I'm not happy about being related to that. So anyway, some of you might be aware that we are having a live streamed concert across the nation on Sunday, which is June 14th. And so I'm hosting my local resistance group, and we're gonna be here in the afternoon. It's supposed to be 95. It's like freezing. I'm like freezing today, and it's raining and windy outside. But by Sunday, it's gonna be 95. It's gonna be in the 90s on Saturday. I think maybe 92 on Saturday. No, it's like 92 on the Monday after this 95. 95 is sort of the peak, and then it's, I guess, going to cool off a bit more. So, so I was planning a bit of craftivism, which I haven't even figured out quite what that means and what to do, but I know that people are excited about it, and I have friends that do knitting craftivisms, and so I bought this piece to start and stitch on, and that means that I have to delay starting restarting a project that I was going to do for a friend. But so anyway, I was pulling stuff out of my stash, and I was trying to think if I got everything. I think I got everything. So. But I was going to go to Acorns and Threads on Saturday after my weekly protest and get some more things. And, oh, I did. So I did get stuff. So I know people, I think we're going to work on some posters, which is something I've got on my list of things to get on Saturday. I'm going to bake some fruit pies, which are something I'm known for, and I haven't figured out what. I'm probably going to put a couple things in the crock pots too, but I haven't figured out what. I make a really good 5-cheese mac and cheese in the crock pot, but it doesn't really keep that well. It's good when you first eat it, but then it kind of breaks down to just oil and pasta, and I don't like that so much. But anyway, I thought of some stuff that people could work on that might be patriotic or rebellious or needed in terms of one thing I pulled out. So, you know, and these are larger things, but a lot of you might be familiar with Rebel Stitcher. Disagree. And this is, we can disagree and still love each other unless your disagreement is rooted in my oppression and denial of my humanity and right to exist. So, sampler there, and then the Birmingham Girls sampler, which was martyred children in a church bombing in Alabama. That's really timely. So, those are all things that I thought would be great to start, and I have friends in my gender nonconforming group that are stitching this with rainbow flosses, which is another thing I need to put on my list. Rainbow floss, because I had not rainbow floss, red, white, and blue floss. I think I did put that on my to-do list because I was going to make a cording out of red, white, and blue variegated flosses to put around the Liberty pennies. So then I picked up Patriotic Quaker from, it's one of the Fragments in Time series, which is Summerhouse Stitchworks. So that's kind of a smallish thing. It's 51 by 51. And then I had a bunch of summer themed smalls, you know, because if people are going to do cross stitch, cross stitch takes a long time. So I wanted to have some stuff that people could work on. And Broken Wings Mended by Shaded Stitchery. And so, yeah. Here's another summer theme, which is Chezzy and Me, Return of the Whales. Oh, and I also saw it, and I need to call Acorns and Threads so they can put this in my box in the office, is they had 2 Sambry Stitches clearance pieces. There was one that was Bigfoot ice skating and one that was Bigfoot camping. And I thought, oh, I want to do the ice skating one for my sister for Christmas. And so anyway, here's something that a lot of us might want or need. Antidepressants, Twin Peak Primitives. And I have the 2024 Twin Peak Primitive Patriotic book. I really want to do this one here because I want to restyle it as the Coast Guard ship, the Eagle. Which I could do pretty easy. But I have the 2022 Patriotic book. When I was pulling stuff out of the white dresser, I couldn't find it. And I've kind of we had, things that we've been cleaning and reorganizing in our house. So I've got some stuff kind of pushed up to block the white dresser, which is not a good thing. So I kind of have most of that away, so I can't open the drawers, but in one of the drawers I can't really get around to really root around in it. So an ode to libraries. This is one that a lot of my friends have been stitching. And this is another small cat books and coffee. And I just pulled out this is not as small as it could be. It's 64 by 95. And I have my Ice Out fabric and floss that I thought if I did, that I might do this. So that's my plan. And this is 87 by 87. It's just fun. And the Lola Crow, like the book Cats and Coffee, Lola Crow. And this is What the Cat Saw, KT event, which is the KT event is the boundary between the Cretaceous and I think it's Tertiary, which is the layer above, which is after the asteroid hit. And then I also found, I don't know how big this one is. This is, which Doherty Design, and it's Yaquina Lighthouse. Yaquina Bay and Yaquina Lighthouse are like, well, this is a national recreation or national scenic area. That's right. It's a national scenic area. It is Lincoln County. I lived in the town where this is. One of my most favorite places in Oregon. And then I have Jeanette Douglas Patriotic Box, and I have the little box now. You saw it in another Flosstube. And then this is not something you could do really, but I was looking at be you to others kind and true as you have others be to you, and neither do I think it's say to men whatever you would not take again, so you don't say things that you can't take back. And titles may it's glorious, but it's glories upon our name, but virtue only is the life of fame. So those are some pretty hefty sentiments that people could stitch. that's kind of why I pulled it out. And then the other thing is, if some of you are following political news, you know about Ivanka Trump and Jared Kushner stealing public land and protected conservation land from the Albanian people. And prime minister of their country is probably going to go down over this, I hope. But anyway, they are illegally stealing land, and that land is conserved because it's where the flamingos are. It's like where those pink flamingos go to like breed or eat or something. You know, they are, some of them are migratory, and that's their place on the Mediterranean. And so I didn't have time to pull it out, but I'm going to pull out some little flamingo patterns, and I'm going to look for some in the shop on Saturday to, you know, so people can stitch flamingo stuff, and also pick up some more flosses so I can, you know, say here's a needle, here's some floss, knock yourself out. So that's what I'm doing, and I am going to show you a picture at the end of this video as to what I did this last Saturday. And just so you know, I'm in the pink hat. So thank you for joining me with this video about cross stitch, and also kind of like the rebellion. And I know people don't like when I talk about the politics and about rebellion, but I'm sorry. You know, cross stitching keeps me sane. And I know it keeps a lot of other people sane, and, you know, but we have to do what we can do. And I'm in a group where the rest, the group may not all get along and may not all want to, we wouldn't have chose each other for friends, but we are committed because we are tired of our neighbors being disappeared, and we're tired of people being murdered. And somebody was detained, disappeared from our county courthouse today because they went in to deal with a traffic ticket. And apparently ICE thinks traffic tickets are equivalent to a felony conviction. And they had a speeding ticket. They went in to take care of it, and ICE took them. So that's what we live in our country. And I will never stop fighting until I stop breathing. So I will see you later, and be safe. Thank you. Okay, bonus Flosstube. I got up and I realized, oh, I didn't even show this one whip that I was putting away for the month. So again, I don't have a picture of it, but you've seen it several times. And that is the Gathering of Acorns, Fox and Rabbit. It's on 18 count, up in the attic. And that blue square is the dress of the woman who's standing next to the house. So got a good chunk of her dress half stitched, if not fully stitched. So yeah, so this one can get put away for another at least a month. I don't think I'd stitched on it since March. And then while I was in putting things away, I found the other Patriotic Smalls, which is actually not 22, it's 2023. So this is some more Patriotic Smalls to do, if people want to do that as craftivism. Oh, the other thing, give me a sec. I had a whole sack of stuff that I got if people wanted to do cross stitch at my house. And then I found Sweet Summer This is Tiny Modernist, and there is a couple flamingos right here. And then there's Tropic Troop. Again, a couple flamingos. We could just take those to just stitch by themselves. The Artsy Housewife flamingo is probably a little bit too big for this one. This is Dreamer, and the flamingo is in like a coffee drink cup. Let's see, and then Seaside Flamingos, which is not sure how big this chart is. That's Stitches by Ethel, and which was a great meet and greet at Spring Bengal with her. It was so much fun. And then this is Flocked the Sea, which is a drum. But again, we could take some of these. I especially love the flamingo there with the bathing cap. We could take some of these flamingos out and just have people stitch them. And so this weekend I was thinking about, I got some drawing paper for people to draw, because we have plenty of markers and paints and things. And I got some oatmeal. It's 14 count AIDA, but it's, you know, oatmeal. It was cheap, relatively. And I got some 14 or 18 count white AIDA. And then I got this like iridescent pink that's iridescent pale pink. And you can kind of see the sparkles a little bit as I move it. That's 14 count too. And so fabric, if people want to do a little small on something. And then there were some lovely patriotic cookie cutters. Don't have any patriotic cookie cutters. I do have like a 5-point star, but this is like a flag, and then and the continental United States, and then these are firecracker, firework, and then this popsicle, which I thought was kind of fun. So, and I got napkins to match this for the party. So, anyway, that was stuff I got to have fun, and that I forgot to show. So anyway, glad I found that other patriotic book. And so I'm gonna go, like I say, I'm gonna get some more cross stitch supplies to share. I have a giant bag of flosses in a closet, so you know, I have some flosses, definitely probably enough flosses to share of whatever color is needed. I actually bought for like, now I stuck it in the bag and I'm going to drag it back out. Maybe I won't. Oh, here it is. Okay. Yeah, I actually, you know, Flock to the Sea, I already have kitted up. And I got some specialty flosses, one of which I might be willing to volunteer, because these are kind of like hard to get. But anyway, so yeah, I got some of those to do this artsy housewife thing when I start it years from now. So that is it, and say now the picture.